Hi everyone, my name is Galit Meirov. I'm a marriage and family therapist, and today we're going to talk about what do I do if my child doesn't listen. So whether it's bedtime, chores, homework, fighting with their siblings, what do we do? What do we do when our children don't listen? So before we could start with anything, we're going to start with shifting the way we think about it. So, do we think about our children not listening as being disrespectful, doing it on purpose to make us upset? Or do we look at it as a way of how can I support this child? How can I build skills? Is what skill is my child missing? And how can I help him? How can I be there to support him? Right? So we can look at it in both different ways. How can I help my child develop his thinking brain, right? His executive functioning. And that's really where we want to go. We want to help children build the executive functioning part. We could call it FE, right? For executive functioning. So before age 9, everything is pretty much impulse. At around age 3, children start to build this part of the brain, and we want to help them. We want to help support them. So let me just post something up to share. Um, so this is the S model, and traditional parenting usually goes from top to bottom, right? From the top of the brain with the reasoning and logic, right? And demands and rewards and punishments and consequences and all that. It goes from top to bottom. Where conscious parenting, we go from bottom up, right? We want to be able to support the child when he's dysregulated, right? So if my child is dysregulated, he cannot learn. It's very hard to learn when we're dysregulated. So we always want to ask ourselves this question when our children are not listening, right? We want to ask ourselves, are they lacking support, right? And the support part of it is the validation, needing that validation, that empathy, that connection. This is the part that every parenting expert talks about, of giving that child that one-on-one, giving that child that connection, giving the time alone. That's where the child building up that support. And that brings up the child to the thinking brain, right? That really brings it up, because we can't um, learn without that support part, right? Then we look at the stress, right? Is my child under any stress? Whether it's school stress, whether did we just move, whether it's a parental conflict, whether it's hearing too much news. Um, Another type of stress is sensory stress. Is my child overloaded, right? Is my child really highly sensitive and they need help with regulation, right? So looking at that part, what stress is my child going through? And then the last one is skills. What do we need to build? What skills do I need to help my child with, right? So if is it waking up in the morning and getting ready for school? Is it always like forgetting their book bag at home or forgetting their homeworks at home? So do we need organizational skills, or do we need impulse control skills? Like, what skill does my child need help with? And the skill part is really the FE part, right? Is where we need to help them. We need to help them first with the support, then with noticing, is there any stress? Because, right, we cannot learn again when there's too much stress. And then that skill part. So it's bottom up approach, right? We're going from the bottom, regulating the child, empathizing with the child, being there for the child, and then going up to building skills and those charts, right? Helping with charts, whether it's charts or playing games like Mother May I or Simon Says, right? To help build those skills. So we always want to go asking ourselves, how do I shift, right? How do I shift and support my child to help him get that? See, the short-term solutions are the top to bottom approach, right? So I'm going to be reasoning with him. I'm going to give him rewards for it, right? That's the short term, because we're still not teaching those skills. To get the long-term effects, always think, what is it that my child needs at this moment? Is it support? Is it skill? Or is it stress that he's going through? It might be all three. It might be two. It might be one. Whatever it is, always before you do anything, ask yourself, in order to get my child that inner motivation and that resilience that we're trying to build, and to get our children to be in their FE most of the time, that's what we want to do first. So if you have any questions and specific questions about your children, or comments about this, please write them down below and share them. Thank you.